Hey guys, today I'll be showing you my Shaddoll Invoked deck for July of 2020. I hope everybody's doing fine, dandy today, and I want to say thank you for those who saw the last video, those who watched the video and liked it. I know that if you saw the video, I do appreciate of how understanding my circumstances is right now, and those who are right now watching this for new viewers, hello, how you doing? So yeah, I hope everybody's safe and having tomorrow is 4th of July, so everybody in America, happy 4th of July. So yeah, Shaddoll Invoked is one of my favorite decks, in my top 5 favorite decks. I see people just, chucking the deck down, using the Invoke so they can do it for the outlet stuff or any other things that I think they're trying to combine. They just left this deck to just, rot. Or they just said, I don't want to play this deck. It's just not meta or something like that. Like I can't believe I said that. But anyways, I like this deck. I did some changes to it from the last deck profile. This deck is so mixed match with you can combine it with anything or say understanding the ratios of all that stuff. But yeah, it's weird how I combine the ratios, but I do enjoy this deck a lot and it's fun to play with it. It's has an 80% chance of winning, which is great, and it can OTK your opponent. It can do many things that I love about this deck. Obviously, personal preference for you if you play different cards. If you don't play for the Shaddoll Invoke, I know a lot of people play different varieties of Shaddoll Invoke. If you play another different version of Shaddoll Invoke, it's understandable. You play your own version of what you want. You play it. I just want you guys to use this as a guide. That's all I want. It's not a win a tournament thing. It's my version, and if you like my version, I'm happy that you're using my version. So yeah, I'm running 42 cards. And you're like, oh, why 42? Well, this deck turtles out your deck really easily. When you're fusion summoning, when you're just, invoking, when you're just searching, it still does a lot. Just great. I like it. Now, do apologize, I just ate. So, let's start with this. I run 2 copies in a video. I wish I could run a 3rd copy in a video, but this is the one that I have right now in physical form. So if you're playing a digital form, yeah, go for the 30 Nibiru. There's nothing wrong with that. Triple Nibiru, nice. 2 Shaddoll Beast. This card is great because you can just send it to the graveyard, draw a card, or when it's you use Wendy's effect, special summon next turn, or when your opponent flips it, you draw 2, discard 1, which is really nice. 1 Dragon. This is really good because it can target 1 card your opponent controls, return back to the hand. The other thing is when you use it for fusion summoning or whatever, when it's sent to the graveyard, yes, then you can pop a spell tracker your opponent controls, which is nice. Triple Squamata. This is one of your key component cards you need in the Shaddoll parts, plus Wendy. Flip, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, destroy it, which is okay. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. This can easily access you to your Shaddoll Fusion, or Shaddoll trap card, or any of the other Shaddoll monsters, which is good. 1 Performa Mage Trick Clown and 1 Performa Mage Juggler. I used to run Hat Tricker and another copy of Juggler, but I saw that it wasn't doing better than I thought in the last time. It used to do good because Master Rule 4, Master Rule, the Link format. But now that we're Master Rule Reprovision, or Master Rule 5 for people that, like that saying, but it's Master Rule Reprovision, it doesn't do what I thought it would do in Master Rule Reprovisions. This is actually a good ratio, and I see it in my hand sometimes. I do Shaddoll Fusion or Invocation to go out for the Trick Clown. This sometimes I just, if I want to send it using Foolish Burial, whatever, I do it. I grab the Trick Clown, or if I have this in my hand, this saves my butt from a lot of damage. But yeah, it's a good card. Now, the other cards we're playing is Triple Alistair the Invoker. This is one of your key components in your Invoke stuff. It bumps up any of your fusion monsters by 1,000, and then it also has if this card is normal summon, you can add 1 invocation from your deck to your hand. This is your searcher, obviously. The great thing is that it can be links. It can be used for link material in many ways that I will be explaining later. Then we're playing the Shaddoll Aerial. This is a good card because this is a DD Crow in the graveyard. Plus, when this card is flipped summon, you can target one banish Shaddoll monster from it and special summon it from face up to face down position. Obviously, you're going to be banishing any of your fusions if you want to, because this is a key free to resummon those fusion summon monsters back, which is really nice. Then another key component you're playing is Shaddoll Wendy. This is one of my favorite Shaddoll monsters. I always play at 3. People play at 2, and it just irritates me so much. It's funny, but I play it at 3 all the time. I used to play emergency teleport to just bring out Wendy, but I took that out a long time ago. Flip, you can special summon one Shaddoll monster from your deck face up or face down defense position except for Wendy. If this card's into the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon one Shaddoll monster from your deck face down defense position except for Wendy. Pretty simple. The one Hedgehog, man, this is actually was difficult to play 2 copies of Hedgehog. I used to play 2. I put it down to 1 so I could put more emphasis on a little bit more defense against my opponent. But yeah, if you want to play 2 Hedgehog, go for it. I played it at 1. This adds a spell and trap card from your deck to your hand if it's flipped. If this card's into the graveyard, you can add 1 Shaddoll. But Hedgehog is when I'm in a situation that I don't see any Shaddolls in my hand or the draw. I send it and I add it. I don't care if it's called by the grave because they waste the call by the grave. Last of the monsters, we're playing 3 triple Ash Blossoms. It's the only hand trap that you're playing in the main deck. If you want to swap this for something else, I don't know, for impermanence or anything that's suited for you, do it. Just do it as much as you want, whatever you want. That's how I like it. Triple Pot of Desires. This is a new addition to the deck. I was skeptical of using Pot of Desires in this deck, but no, it's actually pretty good in this deck. This, for me, the great thing about this is that when I'm in main game, like in middle of the game, I use the Pot of Desires. I do it. I get some good stuff. Sometimes it's a 50-50 chance you banish something good or something bad. Which is alright. This is also a good discarder for any of the effects of Super Poly, which is alright, which is good. Then we got 3 copies of Shaddoll Fusion, one of the best fusion cards I've ever found or ever played. Fusion on 1 Shaddoll monster using from your extra, using monsters from your hand or field as material. If your opponent controls a monster from the that was special from the extra deck, you can use materials from your deck to the graveyard. But the bad thing about this is that they can ash the Shaddoll Fusion. That's because you're sending cards to the graveyard, even if you're not sending cards to the graveyard, it still gets ash. The one Terraforming, this is basically your 4th copy of Magical Meltdown, which is really nice. Triple copy of Invocations. I see people play this at 2. No, don't play this at 2. Play this at 3. This thing is so versatile because it has so much recovery that it's just too good. The great thing is that it becomes 3 more copies of Shaddoll Fusion, which is really nice, I gotta say, because it's a regular fusion spell. A fusion summon. Sorry, I just ate. I do apologize if I'm just like stuttering. So 1 Foolish Bear, so we can send any of your Shaddolls or the clowns to the graveyard, which is really nice. 3 El Shaddoll Fusions. This is your quick play card, so you can bring out Window, bring out anybody you want, so you can do an easy, fast, quick one against your opponent, so you can have a little bit of control there. Then the triple Super Polys, because we are running a lot of fusion summons, and this is great because a lot of your opponent's monsters have different elements, and they will help you bring out those easily. If you normal summon Alistair, bring out and have this, you're set to take off something in your opponent's board, or you're using a Shaddoll monster. This is another thing, which is really nice. Triple Meltdown. This is another key component card. This is basically you cannot activate against my fusion spell cards protection easily. This will your opponent cannot negate your spell card of your fusion summon, like Shaddoll Invocation, Shaddoll Fusion, any of these. Even though Super Poly, you cannot, respond to this. Then the only trap card you're pulling is the Red Shaddoll Incarnation. Target one Shaddoll monster in your graveyard special summon, face down defense position, which is okay. The other thing is that you can banish this card, one Shaddoll card from your graveyard. Activate one, so you can target one card that's face down or face up to swap it into that to face up defense position or face down defense position. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck itself. Now for the extra deck, obviously the extra deck I did some changes as well. So let's go for it. So we're running the one Mirage. This card is an easy card to go because of the Alistair the Invoker. Alistair the Invoker is a +2 because you go basically to 2 link monsters, which is Alistair and Self. So you make Almirage. With Almirage, you make Security Gardener. That's pretty much it. Almirage has a good effect as well. If you can read it right here, this you can tribute this card, target one monster your opponent controls, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and for this turn, which is really good because you can give this to App Cologne if necessary. Next thing is Security Gardener. The great thing about Security Gardener, if this card is special summon, you take no further damage. The thing is, I swapped it for Gravity Controller. The reason why is now that we can use the main monster zone to special extra deck monsters, I don't have to use Gravity Controller that much anymore. So Security Gardener is the other suitable substitution because after this card special, you take no effect damage for a turn. If you're going to against a Trickstar player, this is really good for that and did save my butt a couple of times. So yeah, and it's a light type. So yeah. Cross Shape, everybody knows what Cross Shape does. Simple as that. If if a monster is special summon one of its zones, obviously we're going to be using the fusion special summon a level 4 lower monster from your graveyard. If you want to read the other effects, they're right there if you are necessary using XE synchros or whatever summoning method you want to use. Alistair the Invoker of Madness. This is a great card. People are just cutting this out, but I think it's not a good idea to cut this out because this is your 4th Alistair the Invoker. The reason why is that when a fusion monster is summoned to one of his zones, you can discard a card, add a Book of Law or an invocation to the hand, which is really nice, and this counts as Alistair in the graveyard or field. The one Nightmare Unicorn. Unicorn's still good in my opinion. It's one of my favorite link monsters. I've seen people swap this out for Predator Plant Anaconda, so you can go to the for the Super Polys, the Shaddoll Fusion, Invocation, or whatever it is that could, potentially give you more advantage of that. But I like Unicorn. If you want Predator Plant Anaconda, go for it. The one Boruso, so we can end games. If you want to use Access Code Talker, use Access Code Talker. But if you have the money, if you're doing this in physical form, if you have the money, go spend it. If you don't have it, well, Borosword is a good option, or Boroload, for if you can't spend Borosword. Like right now, Borosword is like what, $14, the ultra rare. But yeah. Now for the fusion monsters, the one Invoke Kaliga. This is a really good card because if a player's monster effect attempts to activate, none of that player's effect monsters activate, and we can only attack with one monster. The great thing about this is that you can activate with just one effect of the monster. That's what it says. The rest of them cannot activate. That's what it's saying. And the great thing is that it locks both of us attacking with one monster. So basically you can use Borosword to just demolish him because it can attack again. Because of the effect. You can attack, activate Borosword effect to bank Kaliga defense position, attack, game. The 2 El Shaddoll Windas must be first fusion, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect, which is really good. This is a monster that when people see Winda, they scoop, they just forfeit, they quit, because if you start first, they cannot stop Winda because you need to special summon. Special summoning is so integrated in this game that you kind of have to scoop because Winda's in the field. You can only special summon once, and that's it. And if you can't destroy Winda with battle, then you're done. I was like, oh no. Here's the thing: if you're an invoke player, if you have Alistair the Invoker, because I always be a cheeky bastard. I'm gonna say I'm always a cheeky bastard because I always keep 2 Alistair the Invokers in my hand when I have Winda in their turn and they're trying to attack it. I use the Invoker. He gets the attack. They don't have like Call by the Grave or anything. If you have Call by, hey, congrats, that's good. But if you don't have Call by the Grave, you're stuck. You're stuck. The one El Shaddoll Alkalon, this one is really good as well. It's a good one-up. Cannot be destroyed in battle. The other effect is if this card is special, you can target one face-up monster in the field and negates this effect, which is really nice. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one Shaddoll card from your deck to your hand, then discard a card, which is really nice. Then we're running the one Invoked Perker Trio, a board cleaner. This card is really great. A must-have. This card gains 200 of attack for each card your opponent controls, hands down. Because of that, this card can attack all your opponent's monsters. Also, it does piercing damage for any defense position monster, which is nice. Now for the new guy, this is Invoke Augustus. I don't know how you say the name. I'm sorry if I say the name wrong. I'm gonna call him Augustus, or whatever, one of those two, Augustus. And this is really good because it has one Alistair the Invoker, one fusion monster. So if your opponent is playing Starving Venom or anything like that, this is a good super poly target because it requires just the one fusion monster. It does not require an invoked fusion monster like Elysium. This is a good card. Now it reads, if this card is special summon or a monster that is special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, on the field, target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. So the first time this card is special summoned, you can activate this. This effect is once per turn. And if it's your opponent's turn, it activates when your opponent special summons, and that's it. Just like one time. It only activates once per turn. But yeah, it's a really good effect. The other effect is that once per turn you can banish one fusion monster from the graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that banished fusion monster until the end of this until the opponent's turn, which is real nice. Then Construct. This is, you know, take dice, save lives. Love you. It is one of your other key component cards. It reads, if this card is special, you can send one Shaddoll card from your deck. At the start of the damage phase, if this card battles a special summon monster, destroy that monster. If this card sends to the graveyard, target one Shaddoll Spark tracker, add it to your hand. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, you need this. You need 2 copies of her. She's too good. Then this is the hard part. The one Invoke Mikaba. I used to play at 2. Now I'm playing this at 1. And it's kind of scary because they could banish your Mikaba because he is one of your biggest negators. Once per turn, when a spell, trap card, or monster effect activates, you can discard that type of card, negate, and banish it, and it's pretty good. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the extra deck. Obviously, extra deck is always, you know, your style or your options of what you want to run. If you have better options, hey, that's good for you, or what you run, that's good for you. Now for the side deck, obviously side decks are always optionable in your style, or either way, any way if you want to play it. It's your choice. For my choice is Triple Deity Crow. Still a good card. I like it a lot. Even though it's basically Triple Deity Crow, this is still good depending on how you play the game. I can swap the Ash for the Triple Deity Crow or whatever I want to use. Double Effect Veiler. The great thing about this is that I can swap this with the Pot of Desires or anything that doesn't combine with I see too much Pot of Desires next game. Side deck one Pot of Desire and one Ash and put 2 Veilers, which is okay. Double Cosmic Cyclone. This is good because this is against, you know, a Lich or any other thing that is back row heavy. Again, Twin Twister, back row heavy. Triple Evenly Match. This is another great card. This helps me a lot. If you have Impermanence or whatever, yeah, play that thing. Triple Judgement. Now, Judgement is, I think, for the best option against anything. If a monster will be summoned or a spell tracker will be activated. Even though you won't negate the monster effect, it's still a good card overall because you're going against the entire meta, and it's great. Even though it hurts your life points, you still have a good chunk of recovery because of this. Obviously, if you have impermanence, yeah, you know, triple evenly match, triple impermanence, or whatever, Dino Pancratops, Lance. It depends on how you play it. This is how I played. Sorry, I'm just like that dinner did not sit with me. That's pretty much it for the main deck. Now for replays, I do have, I think, a few replays. Let's see. Let me check. Oh no, wrong one. That's for the next video. Okay, this is one of them. So I'm going against Noble Knights. You can see here, he brings out that he has an impermanence, and he has a Call by the Grave. He has this thing. This is the new Fire Flint Lady. I think this is for more for Mayakashi, because it looks more Mayakashi, or I don't know what it is. And you can see what I'm doing here. He does impermanence. I do El Shaddoll Fusion, throw it back down, so I can still use the effect of Construct, then use again Construct's effect, and bust that out. He uses Call by the Grave. It doesn't matter overall. Call by the Grave, boom. Doesn't matter. Fall of Desires, Meltdown, bring that back. Alistair's effect, activate Alistair's effect. It's still, you know, literally a little bit weird summoning monsters that are not, you know, the fusions, Xyz, synchros, and all that stuff in the main monster zone, like back in the day, because I got used to the link summoning mechanic. But yeah, boom, boom, boom. Now you activate that. I activate Ash. Bye bye. Loses that. Bring out Skomata, bring out Alistair, battle phase. Boom, boom, boom. I go Perky Trio, attacks for game, and that's pretty much it. Let me find the other replay. This is with Gladiator Beast. I don't remember this match that much. Like, you won't remember all your matches when you're playing or saving a replay, but that's good. You can see how I work with this. I activate that. Bring that back. Doesn't evenly match. That's the rip. Normal Alistair, bring back that. So yeah, he couldn't win next game. Look at this. Even though he had a Dark Ruler no more, he thinks that I might be having a spell. I can, you know, yeah, I can't respond this. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Is this another? Oh, that's the wrong one. Nope. Do apologize. That's for the other video, for the next one. But yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I do appreciate you guys understanding the circumstances that I had. Wasn't posting that much at the moment, and if you have any different opinions about, you know, the deck, hey, let me know. It's good to hear your opinions of like to, how you run it and what makes it better for you. Am I integrated in my builds or my strategies? But yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. If you like this video, comment, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends to grow the channel. Please ring that notification bell so you always get notified when there's a video. Thank you guys for for like we're still in the mark for 200 subscribers. 200 subscribers, man, that's a big goal for me. 200 subscribers. I'm not asking much. I'm just saying, just watch my videos and leave a like. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to be subscribed. That's it. Yeah, it's free. And if you didn't like my videos, there's the door and there's the will, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, and happy 4th of July.